Hi guys. I think you might have heard my voice before if you've seen my live stream, so I guess this isn't a voice reveal, but if you haven't seen my live streams, then voice reveal, I guess. Anyway, this is just going to be me yapping about how to manifest a yandere for like God knows how long. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm yapping right now with no script. So, I'm gonna go over where you start first. Basically, I think you should focus on what kind of relationship you want first, more than the exact traits of your yandere. Like, you should think about what you want to feel in the relationship, not just how they look or what their personality is. That kind of stuff. I don't think that stuff is as important, especially when you're starting, because that kind of builds how they look and what you think of them and their personality and all of that. So you should start by scripting like your emotions, your feelings. I know it sounds kind of silly, I guess, but it's true. I think start by writing down like just free form, like stream of consciousness writing. Don't think about it, just yap. Basically, you could do it on paper. I think doing it on paper is better, but obviously if you're worried about someone finding it, then like don't do that. But you can do it on like your phone or your computer too, that's fine. But I think paper is better because you feel more connected with it. I don't know how to explain that, but it's kind of more natural. Yeah, so you just start with stream of consciousness writing. Like, just write about like what you want. It doesn't even have to be like normal affirmation format. Like, you can just write I want, I want, I want. As long as you just get across what your desire is effectively, like you don't have to think about it. Don't think about it too hard. Just get it down. And after that, you can look at that and then transfer it into a more detailed document where you write like present tense first person affirmations. That, well, I guess it'd be just a script, but I'd think of it like affirmations where you describe the kind of relationship you want and start with that. And then I think after that, I would make like a vision board after you have the idea of what kind of relationship you want. And then you can start thinking about what you want them to like look like and their personality and all that. So you can use Pinterest, or you can just like, I don't know, I guess you can Google search images, but I think that's kind of difficult. I think Pinterest is probably your best option. So look at Pinterest, search up like, I don't know, you can search up like yandere core, which could help with like their obsession stuff. I think that's kind of fun. Or you could look at like yandere Tumblr. That's an interesting place. That's one way to describe it. That is an interesting place. I can't say anything, so it's just some of the people on there. Okay, I'll stop. But go there, honestly, because you can get some ideas for like, I think it's a good idea to like script some certain thoughts they have about you, like they think I'm the best person in the world, and then like make it in their voice so you have more of an idea of what kind of desired relationship you want. Basically just really hone in on the desired relationship so you have that, right? Because if you just have like someone who looks like you want and then they're like, they suck, like, oh, I think their actual relationship with you is more important. So after you have your little relationship script and your little vision board, I would recommend actually writing more about their personality and appearance and all of that. So I have like, okay, sorry for the self promo, but I have a scripting template on my Etsy shop that you could use if you wanted, or you can just come up with one yourself. But yeah, you basically just go over like their features. I think you can look up like desired reality self scripting template or whatever on, there's like 2 million on them, you know, when that was alive, but you can find artifacts on there and take from that. So then you could just transform that into a yandere script of your yandere instead of like yourself, obviously. Just do that, and then once you have all of your scripting done, you can start, okay, I don't think you should start using subliminals until you have like a very specific intention set. Like, you need to be very specific when you're manifesting a person, in my opinion, because I have manifested people, but then they like, how do I say this without sounding mean and evil, but they weren't exactly the best people, and then it was a real problem, and then like it was definitely a learning experience that you need to script very thoroughly, like when you're scripting a desired person, in my opinion. I don't know, it could be a limiting belief, I have no idea, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry, and that's my personal opinion. So, and this is just my personal opinion, this entire video is my personal opinion, so just me yapping. Anyway, next part is actually doing the manifestation stuff. I mean, obviously, at this point, you've set your intention out into the universe, so, or God, or yourself, or like your subconscious, whatever you believe in. I don't mind, whatever you think. Just whatever you think, you know. You sent it out. Let's just say you've sent it out somewhere. And now you just have to make sure that intention is strong and, like, stays out there. So you have to keep repeating that and, like, repeating that intention. I guess, like, repetition is a good idea. So using, like, subliminals, because that's a good way to repeat it, and also visualizing like frequently, like you can visualize like every morning or every night. I feel like, okay, don't do it in the morning after you've woken up, because then I think the best thing is, I've heard of like state akin to sleep, and I think that's actually pretty helpful because like of how your like brain is working at that moment, because it's more suggestible. Like you will believe it more. So I think you should do it like the second you wake up. Like, I know that sounds silly and you're gonna be like, I don't think I ever will remember that. And you might not, so it's probably gonna take a while. Or you can do it like right before you go to sleep, like as you're falling asleep, basically. Like you can literally do a shifting method, but just for like your yandere. That's what I've been doing. Like honestly, I think that's a good idea, is to do a shifting method. Which I know kind of sounds weird, because you're like, well, I'm not shifting realities, but, well, every single manifestation is kind of, in a way, shifting realities. It's just not as drastic of a shift as, like, typically reality shifters have. So, you can also take methods from reality shifters. Like, I think I was reading about it for my self-promo for my guide thing, my manifestation subliminal guide that I just added on Etsy. Anyway, I'll talk about the self-promo. But what was I saying? I just lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah, okay, basically like being as if you are your desired self rather than acting as if, and I think that's really good advice for like all manifestations, but also for yandere stuff. So I think you can basically just like, at least every night, like think to yourself like, I'm gonna wake up and talk to my yandere tomorrow, and I'm so excited to talk to them again because I love them, blah 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 blah. So you can just think of that. Okay, so visualization, being as if, not acting as if, because you have to be your desired self with all your desires, and like really feeling it. Like I think it's more important to feel the emotion rather than like visualizing their appearance, to be honest. Like that is way more important, because when you're actually experiencing things in real life, generally you don't remember what everything looked like as much as you remember how you felt in that moment. I think that applies for most people. Obviously, if that doesn't apply to you, then like don't do this, I guess. But I think it's more important to visualize, or like I don't know if visualize is the right word, but like feel your desired emotions when it comes to your yandere. So feel what that relationship feels like, feel what their like insane love and obsession yada yada feels like, and just really focus on that. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you start like focusing on it, you're gonna get an idea, in my opinion. Like that's what I've seen. So yeah, and I think detaching is a really important tool. Like detach from your manifestation and from your reality well, not your reality, because you shouldn't claim it as yours, but the reality where they're not manifested. Like try not to think about it. I know it's hard when you say try not to think about it, like that's not helpful, but just try to keep yourself occupied, like get hobbies, like touch grass. But seriously, like I'm being so serious when I say you have to have hobbies and things outside of the manifestation. Like get into art, like get into writing, even like literally just do anything. I'm so serious. you can play video games, I don't care, as long as you have a hobby of some kind, because that'll keep you occupied and you won't be as obsessed with your yandere, and then hopefully that'll help with manifestation. Because in my opinion, whenever I've detached from my manifestations and from like the reality where I don't have them, because you basically, okay, those are kind of connected, because when you detach from your manifestations, you generally, like, when you're obsessed with them, you're also thinking about like, oh no, I don't have it, like it's not here, I don't have it. And that's what happens when you obsess. But when you detach, you stop thinking that, and you're just thinking about like your life. You're thinking about good things mostly, unless you're not thinking about good things, which is fine, but you know. Yeah, just really try and detach, but also like continue being consistent and manifesting. So just think of it as like passive income. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my mind, but like you're passively doing it. Like you don't have to obsess over it, and you shouldn't obsess over it, but you're just doing it because you're trying to make sure the universe knows, or you know, God or your subconscious or whatever you believe in knows that you're manifesting this thing and that it's coming to you. And you should also like assume it's already fully manifested, but you're just waiting for it to reflect like in your reality. At least that's what I do. I guess you can see it differently if you want to, but that's how I see it. Like I kind of visualize it like a little package that's coming, and I'm like, I know this is a good seller because I'm the seller, and I'm sending it to myself. I don't know if that makes sense. That's really abstract, but yeah, just okay. Overall, my advice is detach, script very thoroughly, and focus on your relationship. Focus on feelings as well. Focus on your relationship and feelings, and also, I forgot to mention, if you have doubts, basically this is like CBT right now, is like acknowledge them, but just tell yourself that they're just thoughts, like they're nothing else, they're just thoughts, and they don't mean anything, you're just thinking that, and don't attach yourself to it. Just be like, okay. And then I think it's helpful to also write like evidence against it. Like, for example, like I'm doing all of this to manifest my yandere, so I know there's like no reason for that to be true, or whatever. Just whatever you can think of to give evidence against it. And then like something specific I would do is like write down the negative thought, and then like write down the evidence against it, and then scribble out the negative thought and write a positive thought instead, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that's most of my advice. I'll go over it again. I'll go over my little summary. Okay, so starting, focus on the relationship feeling you want, then start with like a vision board or Pinterest board or whatever, and then start focusing on scripting very specific everything, like literally everything, like be so thorough. But mostly focus on your relationship and feelings, and also do that when you're visualizing and meditating and all that. And then make sure you're detached from your manifestation. Yep, that's everything. Okay, love you guys. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being subscribed to me. I'm genuinely shocked that so many people are subscribed to me. Like, I don't understand how that happened. Okay, I'll stop yapping. Bye!